All right, guys. Just wait for somebody to get on. I know it's late. So it is, I think, about 10:40, 10:45, and I am finally getting in my 30-minute walk. I did not work out at all today. This is the first time I'm doing any kind of workout or doing anything today, and that is what it is. And to be honest with y'all, at 8 o'clock, I knew I needed to go to the gym. At 9 o'clock, I knew I wanted to go to the gym. 9:30, honey, it did not happen until like 10:15. I was like, okay, you got to go. You made a commitment to yourself, and you made a commitment to your family and your friends on YouTube that we was going to do 30 days of movement. Y'all, I allowed myself to sit in my feelings today a lot. I slept in. I didn't do anything. I didn't get off the sofa. I kind of slept through the day and watched the Hallmark Channel and kind of snacked. I really didn't even eat really until about 7:30 this evening. Um, so I have this thing I do, and I learned it from Beyonce. Don't judge me. But she said that when she's going through something or she's dealing with something, she gives herself 24 hours, 24 to 40 hours to sit in her feelings and feel bad. And then after that, she gets up and she gets on with life because she doesn't have that kind of time to waste or focus on it. So, as y'all know, last night I was in my feelings. I was really upset. I was more so hurt. And I sat in my feelings today, all day until about 7:30. And that was my 24 hours. And at that point, I started to examine what had happened with my aunt and how the things that she's done to me over the years, the things that she's said to me, and I came to the conclusion that it is time to end that relationship with my aunt. I have another aunt that I had to do the same thing to, and it took me a long time to do it. And it's sometimes people do so many things to you that are so big, and you keep letting it go, and then it's the little things that they say that push you over the edge. And I found in the last 3 to 4 months, it's not the big things that people have done to me. It's the accumulation of the big things they've done on top of things they keep doing and doing. And then something small happens. They usually I'll go, I'm not worried about it. And then it hits me like, they did this. This is disrespectful. They're going to keep on doing things to me. And then I look at the pattern of things that they've done to me over time. And once that pattern kind of like clicks, or I sit down and I really think about, is this person really of that much value to me to where I need them in my life? And am I really that much more valuable to them? And then I start to make the decision whether I want to keep that person in my life or how I want to deal with that person. And I've come to the conclusion, after the assaults my aunt did on me when I was 12, just the things that she said to me over the years, how she's misrepresented me to people, um, her tone to me, how she's in so many ways kind of like degraded me as a person because I didn't fall under her religious woo woo woo. I didn't go to church. I didn't do this. You know, she had her opinion of me was so bad. Really, when her children are all fucked up, okay? So I came to the conclusion today that I'm gonna cut that one off. She's not gonna have any more access to me, ever. There's no amount of apologies. There's not gonna be anybody who can referee it. There's no go-between to the family members. I'm done. That relationship is over. The book is closed. Because if I keep allowing her in, she's gonna keep disturbing and disrupting my life, my happiness, and I'm not gonna give her that power or that energy or that access to me. So that's where I'm at with that. And I feel good about the decision. I never make these type of decisions on a whim. Like when I made the decision to just cut all contact with my biological father, it really helped me. When I did that with my aunt in Chicago, it helped me. It's like the more toxic people I remove from my life or people who've hurt me, the better I feel about myself and the better I feel about my life. Um, so I felt like when I talked to my sister about it, I really felt good about the decision. And even if my sister would have said, no, don't do it, I'm still going to do it. But she didn't say that because, my sister has had run-ins with her. My baby sister just hasn't gotten to the point to where she's learned how to cut people off who mistreat her. And I feel like sometimes she's in a constant roller coaster with our family on how they treat her. And there is a difference in how they treat her and they treat other people, but nobody wants to acknowledge that. And they think that we're just being super sensitive. But she just hasn't gotten to that point. She's very forgiving. And that's what I worry about with her. All of my mom's kids are like that. We're very forgiving because some of the things that have happened to us, the things that people allowed to happen to us as children, some of the things are kind of unforgivable. But you do have to learn how to forgive and kind of move away from it, not because you want them to feel better about themselves. It's so that you don't have to carry it. And another thing I've been struggling with is learning how to forgive myself. Because there are situations in life where you should walk away, but you stay. And you allow people to do damage to you. And you can't really blame that. You can blame that person to a degree, but you can't keep putting the blame on them because you chose to stay. And whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a relationship with a family member, a job, even if it's some of your kids, because there are some kids out there who have done some horrible things to their parents. But ultimately, you have to take some of the blame because you stayed and you didn't walk away. And I just am not willing to take the blame anymore for allowing people to mistreat me when I know that it's never going to change or it's a temporary change. So that's how I'm feeling today. So in the morning, I didn't go to CrossFit today. I was supposed to go pay my fee and set up my time for my CrossFit training courses, which is like 3 days, where they go through on showing you how to do the movement so you don't hurt yourself. I didn't set anything up. I didn't do any of that today. I didn't go for my walk. So I feel kind of bad about that, but that's okay. I'm up. I'm getting my 30. I'm going to do about 40 minutes on the treadmill and today. And then tomorrow I get to start all over. So my plan is in the morning, I'm going to go to the either 5:15 class or the 6:15 class, pay my money, set up my days so that I can go through my 3-day training. Then I wanted to go into yoga, but I just wasn't sure about the price of yoga. So I found a yoga studio in town. The reviews are good. And what I like about it is that you don't have to pay for a monthly fee or a weekly fee or anything like that. You pay $5 a class. So, hold on, y'all. Tie my shoe. So, tomorrow evening, from 5:45 to like 7:15, I'm going to go and take a yoga class. And I'm going to try to take a yoga class 3 times a week, and I'm going to do CrossFit 5 days a week, and I'm still going to do my walks and my runs. I'm going to try to take all, I want to keep losing weight, and I want my body to keep changing physically, but I'm going to just take all of my frustrations, my feelings of shortcomings, all the negative energy, and just push it out in the gym. I applied for the job. I had an interview. I didn't get the job. I don't think I got the job because nobody called me back. I was really bummed about that. But I'm at the point where I feel like, well, maybe that wasn't for me. So I'm going to keep looking for something else. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus all of the energy that's coming in, whether it's negative or positive, and pushing it out, and focusing in the gym and improving my nutrition even more. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just take all the energy and focus it on me, push the bad energy out, and receive positive energy, and recircle the positive energy too. So that's just where I'm at. Like, you can't make people love you. You cannot make people respect you. And sometimes it just gets to the point to where you just had enough. You know, you get to a point where you had enough, and it's okay to say I'm done. I had enough. I don't want to do this no more. I love you, but I love me more. And I was never really able to say that and like mean it, because it's one thing to say I love me more than I love you. It's one thing to say it, but then it's another thing to actually live it out. And I'm to that point to where if I have to choose, every time I'm going to choose myself, because I don't get that. It's not always received the same way. So I can say that I'm loving me more and looking at how people treat me, and I'm not going to allow people to mistreat me anymore. I don't give a damn who it is. It's not going to exist anymore. I'm not going to give anybody that kind of power. If I have to give you, if you come in and you rob me of that energy and you put me in a negative space, you got to go. Point blank. I only got patience for old people and babies. The rest of y'all, that's what it is. Old people and kids and babies are, special needs. Other than that, if you're a fully functioning adult and you know right from wrong, I'm going to have to give you a space. It's another thing when people don't know that they're doing something to you. But when you realize, and sometimes when you sit down and talk to people, and this has been my experience recently, you sit down and talk to people about what the things they've done to you and how they hurt you, and they can say, well, I didn't know, or they say, I know. If somebody knows that they've done something to hurt you or to hold you back or hold you down, or they just didn't value you, and now you bring it to their attention and all of a sudden they want to, then you need to look at that person. You need to look at yourself. But if they've done it intentionally, you need to start making decisions. That's what you need to do. Hey, CD. That's what you need to do. You need to start making decisions. And making ones that are going to benefit you emotionally. And I'm not saying that the decisions you're going to be making are going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're not going to struggle from those decisions. I'm not saying that you're not going to feel growing pains, because I feel them. But you're gonna have to. It's not going to be easy. That's what it is. It's going to hurt. And people are going to get hurt. So yes, I'm done with that family member. And I suspect that there will be more. Because it's going to be awkward. Like, I have no words. Like, when I'm done with somebody, we could be in a room together and I will not acknowledge you. I will not give you any energy. And I know that my family, they kind of expect it, with my aunt in Chicago. Like, nobody could really say anything. I don't know how they're going to feel about me dealing with this other aunt like that. But it could be an issue. At this point, am I concerned about it? No. Because I have the right to talk to and address whoever I want to. Thanks for the thumbs up. And that's what it is. It's gonna be that way, y'all. Ain't no coming back from it. Because people will change momentarily and then they will go back to being themselves. Change doesn't happen overnight, and I feel like you can truly tell when somebody's changing. But sometimes people will make drastic changes to keep you around, or so that they can make you feel safe again, and then they'll drop the hammer on you. And I've had that happen with family members too. You know, the way my aunt in Chicago did me, I thought that we had really got to our point in our relationship that we could be close and we could really build a relationship. And I was so excited about it because the relationship was so bad that I was happy that I felt like we could fix it, and I really extended the olive branch. And she took that bitch and clipped it, crushed it, burned it, incinerated it, sent it out to the sea, drag it back, put it together, and burn that bitch down again. So, you know, that's where I'm at. That's why that relationship will never work. But this one, it's kind of the same way. Cause she had my whole eye twitching last night. Like, I couldn't even go to sleep, y'all. Went down the wrong pipe. But no, I couldn't even sleep. Hold on one second. Yeah, but I couldn't even sleep last night. But it's okay though. Cause you cannot make people love you the way you deserve. They have to want you. They have to want to love you. And vice versa. If there's somebody you can't love them right, be honest with that person and be honest with yourself. And that goes for whether it's a friend, a coworker, a spouse, mom, dad. I knew a long time ago that I was never going to be able to have a healthy relationship with my dad and my stepmom, especially my dad. Just because of so many things that happened throughout our relationship. And I never had a real I don't miss my dad. I never bonded with my dad. I never felt a closeness to him. Even when I was living with him when I was in Fayetteville, I always felt like he was a stranger. Like I was a stranger. I did have a bit more of a connection to my stepmom, but like when things looked bad between him and her anger was sometimes issued towards me, thrown towards me. And I would always kind of get like the backlash if he was out doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, which was very often. And I did encourage her to leave him because she didn't need him, he needed her. My dad could not survive without her. Literally, he would fucking starve. And I just wanted her to be happy. But anytime things went wrong between them, like, I was targeted. And the crazy thing is that my mom and my stepmom were friends. And she started messing around with my dad. My mom was very forgiving. She never stopped my dad from seeing us, and she was never mean to my sisters, my half sisters, or anything like that. But you know, it is what it is. There's just no relationship. I can't ever remember my dad living in the house with us. You know, by the time I was 2, he was gone. And I can remember, like, not really for a long time, not really recognizing him as my dad, you know. I always kind of thought until I was a little bit older, I think about 4 or 5, probably 4, I started to, you know, see my grandfather as my father. And then I kind of like was like, okay, so this is my dad, this is my granddad. But everybody calls my granddad daddy. So I never bonded with him. It was never like, oh, I miss my dad, I want to talk to my dad. Frida was much closer to him. She used to cry for him. She really missed him and longed for him. And I couldn't understand why. It's because she got to bond with him. I never did. And, you know, it just was never, it just never bonded. And sometimes I feel like when a child can't bond with their parent, it can make it hard for them to bond with other people too, you know. So it's just it's weird, you know. I can't ever say that you know, my dad got into a bad car accident when he was living in Germany. He almost died. My stepmom called us. My sister almost had a nervous breakdown. I think I was like in the 3rd grade. Frida was like in the 5th grade, something like that. I think I was in 2nd grade. She was like in the 4th or the 5th grade. It was something like that. Either way, he was in a bad car accident, and he almost died. And they called to tell my mom, and she talked to us. Frida had a nervous breakdown. Me, on the other hand, I was like, you know, my mom asked. I was like, well, I don't mean I'm sorry that he was in a car accident, you know, but I had no response because it's like, I don't know the nigga. Now if somebody would call and say, oh, your granddaddy was in a car accident, I probably would have lost my damn mind and pulled my hair out. You know, I had no connection. I'm gonna tell y'all how petty my dad is. My 10th grade year, homecoming weekend, the homecoming dance was on a Friday night. His grandmother died, and her funeral was on a Friday morning. I had my appointment, my nails, everything to do. I'm a 15-year-old girl. I didn't know this lady. I didn't know her. I had went to a couple funerals already. My grandmother had just, you know, passed. I didn't know this lady. I wasn't trying to go to another funeral. And I didn't go. My oldest, Frida, went to the funeral. She knew her. I didn't know the lady from a hole in the wall, a can of paint. So he got upset and said that he was upset with me because I wasn't there to support him when he needed me. Nigga, you ain't been there my whole entire life. And you mad at me for not coming to your grandmama's funeral who I didn't even know? I didn't know the lady. I didn't know the lady. And to ask me to be there for you and you're my dad, you got problems, bro. That's how petty my dad is. So, let me tell y'all what happened. So, when my grandfather died, he was supposed to come to the funeral. I really didn't need him to be there. You know, he didn't show up. And do you know what he told my sister when she called him 2 days after my granddaddy's funeral? He don't know why I was upset. I had no right to be upset because when his grandmama died, I didn't show up to support him. And he was just giving me the same thing that I gave him. That's what my dad said, y'all. That's what my dad said. But he used to always say he had a lot of respect for my grandfather. And I just felt like he didn't have a lot of respect for him. Hey, Frida. So that's how petty my daddy is. And the physical side of our relationship. Y'all, I can't even tell y'all. My dad is a woman beater. Okay. Frida can attest to that. He's a woman beater. He's like a eternal teenager. And he will jump on his other children and his wife. He tried it with me. It didn't work that well. First, I think he tried to marry Frida. She whooped his ass too. He's not. He would never fight a dude, but he loves to fight women. My dad is a straight bitch. Okay. At my mama's funeral, which everybody knew my dad was still in love with my mom, but she didn't want his cheating, scheming, lying, crazy ass no more. If my mom would have took him back, he would not have been with his wife. I'm just gonna keep it simple, okay? My mom was in her casket, cold as ice, dead. Me and Frida sitting on the front row, and this motherfucker then walked up to her casket and leaned over. Now, his wife was at this funeral too. He leaned over in the casket and kissed my mama on the cheeks and then kissed her on the lips. Now, she is dead. And his wife was sitting there, and everybody in the room was like, what the fuck did we just... it's not a uncommon thing for people to kiss their loved ones goodbye. But you kissed your baby mama who's dead in front of your wife in her casket. Now, first of all, I'm not in my right mind. And I was traumatized. And this is when I really think my family should have took me to get help. Because I think at that point was the first time I really had a PTSD episode. And Frida, you on here, you can attest to what I'm about to tell him. Now that I think about it, that was probably the first PTSD episode I had. Because I whooped my dad's ass in my mama's funeral. Yes. Me. Whooped his ass. I Mike Tyson and Ike'd his ass in front of my mama casket. I'm not proud of that. I was 12 years old. I was not in my right mind. I remember grabbing him, and I don't remember nothing after that. But from my understanding, they say I whipped his ass. They were scared I was going to throw him through the damn casket. And that's how long I've been... That's how long I've been dealing with PTSD. My dad was the first person to experience an episode. And I think that's probably when they should have took me to therapy. Baby Frida, you still here? I think Baby Frida's gone, y'all. But that's the first time I ever lost it and didn't really... I didn't really remember it. Baby Frida, why you ain't help me whoop that nigga ass? I'm sorry, y'all, but seriously, that was the first episode I think I had ever had, and it was a lot of my middle school, because my mom died my 6th grade year. A lot of the fights, high school, middle school, they weren't normal fights. They weren't like, you took care of it. You know what, baby Frida, shut up. A lot of the fights I got into in high school and middle school, they weren't like normal teenagers fighting. It was probably a normal teenager fighting on the other side. But what I was doing was not fighting. It was like murder, death, kill. And that's when if I had been taking the counseling and therapy to see what was wrong and why I was so angry, then I probably could have got a hold of it a lot sooner. But because nobody thought of it, they just thought that I was just fucking crazy. I hurt. Well, I won't say they were innocent people, but a lot of people got beat the fuck up in the worst way. And it was the PTSD. I had no idea that's what it was. I didn't really realize what it was or get a label for it or a name for it until I was like 22, I think. About 22. Watch your language. Okay, Frida. But really, I didn't realize it. And when I started going to therapy and seeing a therapist, and I had to see a psychologist too, honey. And that's when I was diagnosed. I didn't really tell my family at the time, and couldn't really talk to my sister about it because she had her own issues. So that's really around the time, and I realized that something wasn't right after my grandfather died, because it's like I would experience moments of rage, and I can feel it. And that's what would happen when I was young. Like my grandfather, like I would go off on my family members. Granted, they deserved it because they would do stuff to me. And then when I would lose my mind, they would run and tell my granddaddy. He was probably the only person who could really talk me down. And he would always tell them, I don't know why y'all messing with her. Y'all know she crazy. Something's not right with her. Leave her alone. Because you know she gonna go crazy on you. But my family, he never would stop. And it will always be a situation to where they would do something and they would just keep doing stuff, and then it would be like boom, and everybody be scared. You know, they would act like they weren't scared, but they had to be scared. Like, and I could never figure out why it would be like that. It's like you have to keep, it's one of those things like I take a lot from people, but when I get tired, it's not necessarily when I get tired or something triggers me, then I'm no good to anybody. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The only thing that saved my aunt was was my baby was sitting next to me. Cameron was sitting next to me, and it's like standing on the edge, and you can feel yourself like teetering, like just shut up, cause I'm on the edge and I'm about to jump off, you know. And you gotta kind of move yourself. And sometimes I have to I had to get up and get another salad. I don't want another plate of fucking salad, okay? But I had to get another plate of salad and kind of like, you know, because I was twitching the whole way home. And when my eyes start jumping, like, I don't feel it, but people be like, dang, what's wrong with your eyes? Like, my sister, they start doing some type of crazy dance or something. But some people think it's kind of creepy or crazy. Which it is, because I don't realize I'm doing it. And I get nervous, and my palms sweat and itch. It's like, that's how I describe the first couple stages, because I feel like PTSD happens in stages. Like you get to a point to where you can't control it, but then there's always that point where you can. And for me, I kind of start itching, and you know, I get real kind of like I won't say happy, but I get like a nervous laugh. My palms start itching and sweating. I start sweating. I get hot. I start to like have panic attacks. And if you know, I always, you know, try to get up and walk it off, or I don't drink anymore. So usually, like, I can take a shot or something, or get a glass of wine, or just kind of like walk it off or something. But yesterday, I'm glad that Cameron and Chloe was there, because you know, that would have been bad. Like, That would have been so bad. And you know that's your biggest fear, is hurting the people you love. I love mine, but I don't like her. And I would never want to do anything to hurt her because she got grandkids and children. And you know, like nobody wants to ever physically harm their family member. But sometimes when people have done stuff to you, they become a trigger. And she is a trigger. So I kind of have to, like, you know, separate myself from her. And I think it's best. But I'm okay with it now. Like, I feel like that was the breaking point. To call somebody unholy and to do it in front of my nephew. And then to talk about one thing I love decorating cakes. I love doing cakes. You know, and I was just so happy to make that cake for my sister and everything. I wanted to just take her out. That's on me. I really wanted to fight her. I really did. But you know, things happen for a reason. So I just let it go. And let her go too. I always tell people I kill when I'm done with somebody, I basically kill them in my head. In my head, they're not alive. Like I already funeralized her, and that's it. And that is so freeing. So I've been on here for almost 39 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes. I'm ready for CrossFit. I'm gonna take a yoga class tomorrow. And just, you know, try to figure it out. I don't know, y'all. I kind of, I kind of feel like everything is in my life is happening for a reason, and I don't understand a lot of the things that are happening right now. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all I do, but it's like something is happening around me, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to explain it or define it or anything. I'm just let it play out. Because there's nothing else I can do. You know. That's what it is. But tomorrow, CrossFit, yoga, go for my walk. I am going to start looking into, like, some, I want to try to take a couple, like, those boot camp classes. I'm going to try to take as many fitness classes and learn about different types of fitness over the next 2 months. I can. I'm gonna take y'all with me because I really feel like I wanted to take the personal training fitness, and I want to learn how to do like certain classes, and that's I want to have my fitness, personal training license by the end of next year. So I'm going to start taking different type of fitness classes. I'm going to go and try to find some type of nutritional classes to take. And I'm going to start saving and try to invest in little things so that in the next 3 years I can open my bakery and my little restaurant, and hopefully, you know, start a family and whatever else. Yes, growth is good, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been so painful. When you grow from pain and you start to examine your life, it can be very painful, and you have to start looking at life situations and relationships, friendships, jobs, places to live. You just it's a lot come with growth, and I can see why people are comfortable being where they are in life, because when you start making the decision to change your life and to be a better version of yourself, it hurts. It's painful. What I'm going through right now is very painful. But I'm growing. But it's painful. Like I couldn't understand when people say growing pains. I'd be like, shit, nigga, you just got a new job. You just went through the pain last year, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, growing pains hurt. Like, because it causes you to examine things in your life that you wouldn't. And it makes you take a look at yourself. Because now you have to be accountable for yourself. And y'all, I don't want to come in here and do this. I didn't want to work out all the day, all the other day. I want to come get on the treadmill. I want to walk. I don't want to do nothing. But I made a commitment. And a part of my growth is that no matter what is going on in my life, I have to get up and take care of myself physically. Like, I laid around all day. I sat in my feelings. I dealt with that. But the whole point of the 30 days is to get up and move your body. And to take care of myself, which working out and moving my body is a part of taking care of myself. Despite of how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And it's crazy because when I started this challenge, I was on a high note. I was having some problems, but nothing like I've been dealing with in these last 16 goddamn days. And it's crazy because most of the stuff that I'm going through would have probably taken me down by now. Would have taken me out and down, and I'd probably be laying in the bed on the sofa or sitting in my office trying to figure out what the fuck happened. But I don't do that anymore. So it's crazy. This could have been a really bad month for me if I would have just wallowed in the things I've been dealing with. So it is a good thing that I'm doing this. And I wanted to do it for y'all too. And I wanted y'all to get up and move too, so that you guys will feel like you guys are a part of it. Because I really do communicate with y'all more than I do my immediate family, other than my siblings. So it's day 16. 14 days to go. And it's not been easy. And I do plan on putting these videos in a playlist. It's only one day I didn't upload, but I did a recap for 2 days. But I've decided to just go live every day or try to upload something. But it's been crazy. It has. So I did 46 minutes and 19 treadmill. And now I'm gonna go home, take a shower, go to sleep, and get up and do CrossFit in the morning. So we are almost at 10,000. Today when I checked, we were at 9,520. No, 9,533. 9,533 subscribers. So we're almost at 10,000, which I'm shocked because it's like Oh, thanks, CD. So we're almost at 10,000. Let's see what happens. It's the journey. It's painful. Some days I feel alone. Some days I feel alone, and some days I feel hopeless. Like, how am I supposed to fix my life? And the truth is, y'all, I never was one of those people. Like, I never like, I won't say I never wanted to be rich, but because everybody wants to be rich, right? But I just wanted to have enough money to where I could take care of my families and ease their financial burdens and to live comfortable. Um, I like material things. I like to look nice, but I've always been one of those type of people. I've never been like hungry or homeless or super broke. I've always been able to survive, even even in the worst circumstances. But my life, my goals was always be able to take care of myself and make sure my siblings okay, because we don't have anybody. Like, we have a few people in our family who help us, um, but we really don't have anybody. And when it really comes down to it, they need me, and I need to be able to be there for them. And sometimes I feel like, I'm always there for everybody else, but who's really gonna, be there for me? And they have so many things going on, I would never put that burden on them. And it's hard, because a lot of people, like, you're so strong, and there's days when I don't want to be strong. Like, when do I get to have a weak moment? Why I always got to be the strong one? It's hard, because sometimes you get tired of, like, having to fix everybody or pull everybody up, or like, who do I go to? Who's gonna fix me when I'm broken? And that's what I deal with. Like, some days I feel so broken, and it's like, who gonna fix me? And am I even fixable? Am I fixable? But, like, am I worth being fixed? And why do crazy shit keep happening to me? Like, I get tired of asking them kind of, self questions. I just wanted a simple life. I just wanted to, be there for my sisters, you know, get married, have a family, and just be able to take care of the people around me. And even that sometimes is a struggle. And then you still have people constantly beating you down who are supposed to, be there to help, love, and support you. It's not like I can go home. Like, most of y'all can go home. Y'all can call y'all parents and go home. and talk to him, but I can't go home. There is no home to go to. I can't pick up the phone and call home. There's no safe place. There's nowhere to go and like recover. And if you have people that you can go to and recover when you're like emotionally wounded, you don't realize how like how like valuable that is. You know, I wish I could go home, like get in the car and drive home, and just sit on the floor next to my grandfather and cry on his knee like I used to when things were bad, and he could talk me through it. But I can't go home. There's nothing there. There's nobody there. And the way my family treat me sometimes. The things they've done to me and how they make me feel. I don't even know how I'm still standing. Because I keep thinking, like, if I wasn't strong, I probably would have been ended my life. I'd be doing something crazy to myself. Because they never valued me and they never taught me how to value myself. And I let a lot of people do things to me in my life and mistreat me because I didn't value or love myself because I was never taught how. And being mistreated became a normal thing to me. Like I've gotten to a point to sometimes where I feel like I've gotten so used to being mistreated until it's almost become like a normal thing. Like it's normal to me. And that should never be normal for anybody. It should. It shouldn't. I've had people say things to me that I would never even dream of or thinking about saying to Chloe or Cam or Age. Like if somebody did the things to me that people did to me and they did it to my niece or my nephews, I would probably lose my mind. That's why I always say, like, don't look at the people on YouTube and on Instagram. Yeah, we look happy a lot of times. But our lives are not perfect. It's social media. You can't play into the hype. It's not it's not real. Some of it is, but some of it isn't. So don't ever look at somebody and be like they got the perfect life because it's not true. I don't have a perfect life at all. I've made the best of the life I've had, the best I could, but I don't have a perfect life at all. I don't have a perfect home. I don't have a perfect husband. I don't have a perfect family. I don't have a perfect job. I You cannot look at social media and base your life around it. Because you'll be living up to some type of expectation that's not real. I'm going home, y'all. I love y'all. And I really do thank y'all for the support that y'all giving me. And I thank y'all for hanging in with me. I know the channel has changed a lot. And it's nothing like it used to be. And I really appreciate y'all coming on this journey with me. Because I really haven't had a lot of support. People look at me weird. I think like it's some type of fad, or I'm just doing it for attention, or because I want to be skinny. But I really am trying to be the best me that I can be for myself. And the changes I've made are long term. They're not short term. Like I've never I've never kept a consistent workout. I've never really cared about my diet. I've never really cared about my emotional well-being as much as I do now. I never examined the people around me or my relationships. Everything I'm going through is real, and some days it's very painful. It's not easy. And it's hard to wake up and look at yourself and examine your life and like really look at yourself. It's not easy to tear apart your whole life and try to figure out like what can I improve? Because then you have to be honest with yourself. And I think that's been the hardest part, is being honest with myself. Because you can't hide from you. You can only hide from yourself for so long. And that's where I'm at. I ain't got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose and I got everything to gain. But it's up to me if I'm willing to let go. Y'all have a good night.